Hello and welcome. I'm the Grumpy Old Man, and thank you very much for joining me. Um, you get to see me live for the very first time on my channel instead of that little cartoon avatar just down there. You get to see my mug on screen. Sorry about that. My apologies. Today, in my very first video, we're going to talk about Sia. Sia's decided to make a movie about an autistic person and did not cast an autistic person in the lead role. Now, she casted a girl by the name of Maddie Ziegler. Maddie Ziegler, if you don't know who that is, Ziegler or Ziegler, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, has appeared in many of Sia's music clips over the years, the last 3-4 years at least. And she originally goes back to the old series Dance Mums. And that was a series, not my thing, I've never watched it. From what I understand, it was a series about mums that push their kids into dancing and the pressures, of creating a dance mum or something like that. Anyway, I never watched it, so I don't know. So the backlash is because she casts Maddie as an autistic person, people are jumping up and down and asking, why didn't you cast an autistic person in that role? Many reasons, I suppose, but for me, one of the big things in movies, and movies are so different to everything else, because you've got a lot of factors is you've got to draw people in to see the movie. They've got to be charismatic, and I'm not saying that autistic people aren't charismatic, but you've got to find a person that can portray charisma and draw people into the cinema. Now, Maddie's, I think she's about 18 years old now, and extremely talented lady. She's so talented that Sia's been wanting to do a couple projects with her. I think, if I remember correctly, Sia said a couple of years ago she has written this movie specifically with Maddie in mind for the role. So this is a very personal project that's been going on for years, absolute years. Now, like I said, for me, it's always been about finding the right person for the right job, and not to fill any type of quotas, or you got to have a certain amount of this type of person in a role, in a movie, or this amount of X gen or Z gen or whatever it is. For me, it's always about finding the right people for the right role. Yeah, unfortunately, a bit of the woke community jumping up and down because, like I said, they wanted an autistic person to play an autistic role. When you go back through the history of movies and go back to, the early 90s, even 1989, we had Daniel Day-Lewis. He actually played a character with cerebral palsy. You've got to see, if you haven't seen the movie, you've got to see the movie. He won Best Actor for his role. Amazing, absolutely amazing role he had there. And when you look back at it, and once you've seen the movie, you just can't imagine anyone ever playing that role. And then, you jump a few years later to, 1993, and you've got Tom Hanks. And he actually played a gay character in a movie called Philadelphia, and his character actually had AIDS. Very, very controversial in its day. I remember, in 1993 when it was released, and it was such an experiment to get somebody that wasn't from the gay community to actually play a gay character. It was just groundbreaking in those days. And of course, he won Best Actor for that as well. A movie that starred Denzel Washington. If I remember rightly, I think it may have won Best Picture, but it definitely won Best Actor, and I think Denzel won Best Supporting Actor for that movie as well. And then, a couple of years later, Tom Hanks again. He was in Forrest Gump, and Forrest Gump, he played a character who had an IQ of 75. Again, if I remember rightly, 75. I'm pretty sure it was 75. And I couldn't imagine anybody else in that role now. He played it wonderfully, and it's, that movie's got so many iconic moments from it. My problem is, it can't be a one-way street. If you have to have autistic people playing autistic roles, does that mean gay people can only play gay roles? or people with cerebral palsy can only play characters with cerebral palsy. It's, logistically, it's probably really hard to find somebody. For example, I use cerebral palsy, to find somebody that can actually do that type of acting and still be able to draw in a crowd, because you have to have a name to play a character. To play a role, because a lot of people invested money in these movies, so you need to be able to pull in people. And you've got other examples, and you can go to extremes, like stupid extremes, like Predator. Do you get an alien to play the Predator? Because if you want to be woke about it, you want to be politically correct, you can't use anybody else. But of course, that's just ridiculous to say. But it's actually a point to make. Let's jump onto Twitter, and let's have a look at what's happening in that world and some of the backlash that poor old Sia got. And see, the thing is, we haven't seen this movie yet. It's not released till 2021. And in that 2 minutes that we saw, all I got was a really joyful piece of film. And it looks really good, looks exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I'd love to see it. I can't judge it because I have no idea how they've portrayed the autistic character. So let's have a read on our Twitter. Twitter's not the real world, by the way. Crazy people on there. I'm on there. That says it all. Anyway, let's have a look at the main feature here. Sia faces backlash after casting Maddie Ziegler as an autistic teen in upcoming movie Music. Following the release of the trailer for Sia's upcoming movie Music, which she says is based on a close friend. So obviously a very, very personal project for her. Many actors and activists were critical of the singer's decision to cast Maddie Ziegler, a non-disabled actor, to play a disabled actor. Sia responded to the criticism, but some found her responses disappointing. All right, let's have a bit of a read, see what people have said. Right, let's see what Brooke Winters has got to say. I read Sia didn't cast an autistic actor because the tight schedule would be too much pressure. There are autistic people working as paramedics, nurses, firefighters, etc. But NTs think there's not a single autistic who can handle the pressure of a tight filming schedule. Look, they probably can. They can, No one says that they can't. This, again, we're going back to, they need to fulfill expectations for all the investors as well. They need to have a name there to be able to draw people in. I don't know how ignorant I am, but off the top of my head, I honestly cannot, name a single autistic actor. And they probably are, and they've probably done so well that I didn't even know. And I've seen deaf actors. What was her name? Maggie or something, many years ago. She had a lead role in the movie. Also won an Oscar for it. And she kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. Did a few. I wish I could remember her name. Can't remember her name now. If I remember, I'll pop it up on the screen. I'll add it to the screen. All right, let's scroll through a bit more. Margot Joffe. She, her. Pronoun. She put some pronouns in there. All right. So, yet another example of Hollywood casting a non-disabled actor to play a disabled character when doing a film about autism. Hire actually autistic folks to work on it. Yeah. I mean, as far as I'm aware of, Sia actually did hire autistic people on the movie. I think it was about 10 or 12 characters that she specifically hired people that were on the autistic spectrum. And I think they got pretty good roles in there as well, pretty prominent roles, and not like in the background or anything like that. So it'll be interesting to see. Again, we haven't seen it, so we shouldn't be judging this at all. Okay, let's have a look at Brona Woe, a war. Yeah, I'll stick with war. Hi, Sia. Can I ask why you didn't cast a disabled actor for this part? It's pretty offensive the way you've chosen to portray this character. Again, how do you know? You haven't seen the movie. It's not out yet. It's 3 months away. And you're already saying that it's an offensive way to actually portray the character. I think in the trailer she probably appears maybe 15, 20 seconds total, if that. There's more of Kate Hudson, who's in the movie as well. By the way, the movie was written and directed by Sia, so it's a pretty cool feather in the hat for that one. Many of my friends have different disabilities, and they are some of the ... Okay. No idea what that is. Let's jump in there and have a look. Nothing. All right, kind of just stops. Let's have a read. Oh, here's one from Sia. I agree. I've never referred to music as disabled. Special ability is what I've always said, and casting someone at her level of functioning was cruel, not kind. So I made the executive decision that we would do our best to lovingly represent the community. Did you, and Amy responds, did you do any research or consult the community at all? It's very condescending to say it would be cruel to consult a disabled actor. I don't think she's generalising that. I think she's specifically talking about her friend. Let's go back. I always said casting someone at her level of functioning was cruel. Maybe not. All right. Okay. Sabrina Zombie. Cool. Zombie. Numb zombie mum. Probably has about 25 kids. I wouldn't be surprised. Unfortunately, instead of answering questions, she's attacking the autistic community when they speak up. I never thought I would see something like this in this day and age. Yet, here we are. Maybe you're just a bad actor. Don't know what that refers to. Probably not the best thing to reply with, unless the original comment was nasty. All right, let's move down. Julie, True Blue Brew Crew. Must be an Aussie. Why did Leonardo DiCaprio play a person with exceptional need in What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Same? No. Why did Sean Penn and Dustin Hoffman, there's a great example, Dustin Hoffman, another, I do believe, Oscar winner for that particular role, also portray men with exceptional needs, disabilities in their Oscar-winning films? Sometimes that's what actors do. Equity is in casting. Equity in casting. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Should real mobsters play mobsters? Real boxers play boxers? Who's really going to play Batman? Good on you, Michael Rappaport. Now, absolutely valid point. I mean, they're actors. You know, at the end of the day, they're actors. And it's also a great opportunity for actors to play really challenging roles, be it really difficult characters, or even, characters with disabilities, to actually, respectfully represent that. I'm pretty sure it's not an easy thing. Coolest, most talented, funny, kind, intelligent people I know. They are also the most underrepresented and inaccurately represented group in our society. This kind of inaccurate, offensive representation causes so much pain. No one's saying they're untalented or not funny or not kind or not intelligent. And, again, you haven't seen the movie, so you have no idea how they've been represented. Including Maddie, the lead character, and the other 10 or 12 people that actually are on the spectrum, you have no idea how they're representative. You're jumping the gun once again. You're making decisions, comments on something you don't even know yet. I don't even know. I've obviously reacted very differently to how these people reacted to the trailer. I just find it very joyous, I can't wait to see the movie. It'll be interesting. I'm a big fan of musicals, so yeah. Ralph, young Ralph. She hired autistic actors. The lead didn't need to be autistic to give disabled actors jobs they wouldn't otherwise have. Stop virtual signalling and eating your own and worry about real issues. Well, it is a kind of an issue, but how big an issue? That'll be determined in years to come. Let's have a look at Say Brian the Godless. There's a contradiction. Father of severely autistic boy here, actually 2 boys on the spectrum. Well, here we go. It's fine with me, sorry. To be honest, this seems to me to be just some weird sort of outrage culture thing. Just get rid of the monster in the White House, McKay. That's the first step to real equality. That bit I don't agree with you donkey, but that's okay. You're entitled to your opinion. But yes, you're totally correct. Father of severely autistic boys here. And he would know. I mean, he actually has kids. He has to deal with them every day. And he obviously, without a doubt, loves them to death and is not offended by, straight people representing, autistic people. Well, it's a bit of 50-50 there. The backlash, I think personally, is unwarranted at this stage. We should be waiting to see the movie to come out. If it is a really bad representation, if it's cliched or anything like that, and absolutely, let's all jump up and down and show our disappointment in the way it's been portrayed. But until then, it's 3 months away. We should wait and see how good or how bad the movie is. Personally, I'll be there. I'll be watching it. I don't know if it'll be at the cinemas with all this COVID stuff. But we'll see. 3 months, like I said. In the meantime, thank you very much for joining me for my very first video. I hope I got through it okay and you enjoyed it. If you do, hit the like and subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next one. And in the meantime, thank you very much and bugger off.